We're seeing quite a bit of interest in the Olympic lifts here in the weight room. So I just wanted to go through a quick tutorial on how we could get team sport athletes, not Olympic powerlifters, not people who are looking to compete in Olympic lifts, but people who are looking to get more speed and power in their training program. How could we do that safely and in an effective way? Because I'm seeing quite a bit of form and technique breakdown, and I want to make sure that we're kind of covering some bases of like, what are the foundational preliminary things we can do to lead up to some quality lifts. So we'll start by teaching everything in stages. So I'm going to take this barbell out and really look to do more of a hinge first. So like, can we, and normally we would do this in the rack, I'm just doing it from the side here so you can see, but I'm gonna go ahead and sink my hips back to make sure people are even getting in the right position. So when they sink their hips back, we wanna make sure that there's a straight line from the ear to the shoulder back down to the hip. So if I'm going from that position, it's here, 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 hips back. Now, from there, there's a little trick we can do. And I'm not going to get into too much of the details on this, but you can roll your wrists underneath. That's going to help get the bar rolling in this direction so that when we explode and push our feet into the ground, the bar starts to spin and roll out as I do that. So from there, what we'll then start to work on is the hinge and the roll. Can I do that a couple of times? Then we'll start to work on the hinge, roll, shrug. So I'm keeping my elbows straight. I'll show this from a little bit more straight on. Can I go into this shrug position? So it's hinge and shrug. Hinge, roll the wrists, shrug. Hinge, roll the wrists, and shrug. I'm using my hips to drive the bar and the movement. Then from there, it's going to be that hinge, and I'll show this from this angle. It's going to be the hinge, roll, shrug, and pull. Right? So now I'm doing a high pull, hinge, shrug, high pull. And this is going to start to get people feeling the weightless part of the bar. And I think that's what people miss the most when they first start learning the Olympic lifts, where they see what the position, where the starting is and where the end is, and they miss the thing in between, which is that we need to create a whole lot of speed to get the bar where it's a little bit weightless, right? So I pop my hips from here to here, I got to get myself underneath there. So if I'm pulling myself through, it's not going to work. I'm basically going to be doing like a reverse curl with a heavy barbell or barbell with weight on it. So it's going to be the hinge, pop, shrug, pop, and pull. So it's a shrug and a high pull. And then from there, we can go into the full lift where it's hinge, roll, pop, and get under. Hinge, roll, pop, and get under. Elbows are up. One of the other effective things we can work on is what's called a cheat clean. Just getting people to work through the path of the bar. And then the other thing we can work on is getting close to the rack and having people drop and dip underneath. That's another little piece. Now I just went through quite a bit of information in a very short amount of time. Usually with this, we would work on the hinges for a few minutes. We work on the hinges and the shrugs for a few minutes. That might be all I do on the first day. Then maybe the next day we go hinge, shrug, and the elbows, hinge, shrug, elbows. Maybe we do some cheat cleans. Maybe we do some of these where I pop underneath with my elbows up. And then maybe that third session, then we go into the full lift. That's all before we actually start adding weight to the bar. Because at the end of the day, we want to have speed and power being developed. And if I'm doing that by just muscling it up to this position, I'm probably not achieving that, and I'm putting myself in maybe a position I can get hurt. So I'm going to want to see the pop of the hips, get the elbows up, roll underneath, and as I catch the bar in this position, my feet hit the ground. That's what's going to actually help me improve my explosiveness.